We need to prep as much as we can. That way we can weather this storm that is coming our way, because it is coming. Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is going to be part of the evolution of our new rationing system. The way that the powers that be are going to ration what we can and can't buy. Now I have another short article to show you after I read through this one, because this one's very important. But the next one, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, by 2025, like I've been stating for many years, we are going to be in very dire straits. Everything that is being done now is just to set up to have 100% control over everything we do in the next 3 or 4 years. A $600 financial reporting requirement could lead to even more violations of taxpayer rights. What they're talking about is this bill that's being introduced into the Congress and the Senate eventually that will allow the IRS to monitor every single transaction that we make via our checking accounts, as long as our accounts are at a balance of $600 or less. I'm not sure how much more draconian it can get than this, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, I am. Wait till you see what I have to talk about next. It's incredible what they're planning for us. And I'm not even being hyperbolic. I'm not even sitting here telling you it's incredible what they're planning for us just to keep you hanging on. Oh, what's he going to say? No, just wait, ladies and gentlemen. It's incredible. It states here that the IRS Criminal Investigation Division regularly violated taxpayers' rights and skirted or ignored due process requirements when investigating taxpayers for allegedly violating the $10,000 currency transaction reporting requirement, according to a 2017 report by the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. In addition, less than 1 in 10 investigations uncover violations of tax law. These findings should be alarming to taxpayers, to us, ladies and gentlemen, given that this administration has proposed creating a new comprehensive financial accounting information reporting regime. Isn't that a good one, huh, ladies and gentlemen? Which would force the disclosure of any business or personal account that exceeds $600. Not only would this include the bank, loan, and investment accounts of virtually every individual and business, but it would also include third-party providers like Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. Under the Bank Security Act, financial institutions are currently required to report transactions exceeding $10,000 or multiple transactions in aggregate of $10,000 in a single day. TIGTA examined 306 investigations undertaken by the IRS between 2012 and 14 for violating this law, where a total of $55.3 million in assets were seized. During the audit, the sample size was narrowed to 278 investigations, as several did not meet the criterion for inclusion. TIGTA found that only 8% of investigations uncovered violations of tax laws. In many cases, the IRS had not considered reasonable explanations for those investigated property owners who were not adequately informed of their right nor informed of seizure of their property, and outcomes in cases lacked consistency, violating the 8th Amendment to the Constitution. Given these findings, a new reporting regime that includes the financial accounts of virtually every single business and individual could see countless new cases for taxpayer abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, they are setting the path in which they can monitor and then control every single thing that we can purchase and or buy. Every single monetary transaction that we make on an everyday basis, they will be able to track. I would also say that this constitutes a violation of the 4th Amendment as well. There's one good piece of news, ladies and gentlemen, is that this is not set to go into effect until the very end of 2022. I believe it's December 31st of 2022, starting on the 1st of January of 2023. So we still have time to contact the representatives if that will do any good to try to put a stop to this. Now, why are they doing this? Why does the government want to know what every single transaction that every American that has a bank account with $600 or more in it is doing? Why do they want to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are going into a time, we are entering a cycle where things are not going to be as abundant as they were in the past. And governments are realizing this. They are realizing this, so they're trying to, in my opinion, equalize the world. They're trying to make the world equal as far as consumption goes. And guess what country is one of the biggest consumers in the world? Guess what country has the best standard of living, if not one of the best standards of living in the world? That's right, the United States, amongst many others. Let me show you this quick graph first before I go ahead and show you the bombshell piece of news that I believe is really telling of where they want to take us. You see this, ladies and gentlemen? You see this chart? It has, I don't know, I didn't count how many countries there are on here, but there are several countries on here, and it shows their median per capita income. So if you take everyone in the country and you divide the income of everyone in the country evenly, that's what the median income of each person in that country is. And here, the lowest in this chart is Mexico at $2.9 thousand per year. That's the median income of people in that country, in the country of Mexico. If you go all the way to the bottom, to the extreme, the median income of citizens in Norway is roughly $19,300 a year. That's the median income, okay? And for those of you that are interested, the United States falls in around $15,480 a year. It's the median income. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what equity brings. It brings all of the countries into this red line. You see, it brings all of the countries into this red line, meaning that, talking about the United States alone, meaning that if the median income of the average citizen in the United States is $15,000 a year, and we get brought to this red line, it means that our standard of living is going to get cut in half. I remember doing a video a while back where I said, get ready for your standard of living to be cut by 25 to 50%. And isn't this just very telling of that same statement? Now let me go ahead and show you what's really scary, what they've got in the plan working on. Now, I saw a very short snippet of this on Adapt 2030, and I was like, wow, I need to find this so that I can share with you all as well. And I'm not trying to take anything away from David Dubine. Awesome guy. Love his channel. Been with him for a very long time. If you're not subscribed to him, you need to subscribe to him. From the Climate Depot, new CO2 monitoring credit card enables tracking of carbon footprints on every purchase. Monitors and cuts off spending when we hit our carbon max. What are they talking about here? They're talking about implementing a carbon footprint usage meter on your credit card. So for example, let's say Mr. Citizen or Mrs. Citizen, you are going to be allowed to have 100 carbon credit points this month. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You have 100 carbon credits this month. And you go and you use your credit card, or you go and you use your CBDC, your central bank digital currency that they issue you. And every time that you buy something, a credit score is issued to that item that you purchased. And it is deducted from your balance. So if you start at 100, for example, and you go buy a number 1 at McDonald's, it might take away 3 points or a half a point, whatever it may be. But the point being is that once you've used up all your points, it doesn't matter how much money you have, you're done purchasing. You are done purchasing. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? If you have a lot of money, you can purchase extra carbon credits. And where do you get those carbon credits from? Well, you get it from people that have a lot of things or a lot of land that's not using any carbon. So let's say, for example, you own 272,000 acres of farmland. There's a lot of carbon credits there because a lot of that land is probably not going to be in use. Why? Because a way to control the people is to control them with food. So why produce abundant amount of foods on good farmland when you can pay farmers not to farm, make the people pay more for the food, therefore growing less food, i.e. creating less carbon? This is how these people think, ladies and gentlemen. That is why we need to get prepared. We need to prep as much as we can. That way we can weather this storm that is coming our way, because it is coming. I still believe that the worst of the worst will be around 2024, 2025, in that time frame. So we still have time to prepare. So what will happen is if you run out of carbon credits, you'll be able to buy some carbon credits from someone that's not using all of theirs. And who are those people that are buying up all this land? I'll go ahead and let you answer that question for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. So we are at a point where they are moving forward with their plan to completely enslave humanity. And not just us in the United States, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to feel it more. Because like I said, we are technically part of the 1%. Every person per capita in the United States is part of the world's 1% richest. I am the 1% and you are too. I'll just go through this really briefly right here. It says here, the worldwide 1% is not such an exclusive club after all. Anyone who earns an income of $32,000 plus annually automatically becomes part of it. Earning $32,000 per year is all it takes to be in the world's 1%. Given that billions of people across our planet, including here in the US, survive on less than $2 a day. Chances are that most of you reading this article are indeed sitting pretty in the global 1%, at least when it comes to income. And ladies and gentlemen, I've stated that before, that here in the United States, the poorest of the poor have a better standard of living than some of the middle class in many countries in the world. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining in today. During today's live stream, we'll go ahead and talk more about this, a little more in depth, and do a little chit-chat and back and forth about this and how it is that we can prepare and just get ready. Get ready for the storm, because we have to make it through the storm. That's what prepping is for. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.